Have you ever looked around, maybe at family gatherings, or just observed people in your community and wondered, why? Why do some folks seem to hit their 80s and suddenly face a sharp decline? It's a pattern many of us have seen, perhaps even worried about, for ourselves or our loved ones. Energy fades, health issues pile up, and that spark just seems dimmer. We often chalk it up to genetics, or maybe just the inevitable march of time. But what if I told you that for many, this decline isn't inevitable? What if there are hidden forces at play, habits and mindsets that quietly sabotage vitality in those later years? What if the difference between vibrant longevity and a shortened health span after 80 isn't just luck, but relies on wisdom many overlook? Today, we're diving deep into 5 crucial pieces of wisdom, not just tips, but fundamental truths that could radically shift how you experience aging. These aren't just feel-good ideas. They touch upon the very mechanisms that can either protect your health or, tragically, accelerate decline. Stick with me, because understanding these could be the key to not just adding years to your life, but adding life, real, vibrant life, to those years. But before we get into the first critical insight, let me ask you, have you noticed this trend? Do you worry about maintaining vitality as you age? Let me know in the comments below. Just a simple yes or no helps me understand what's on your mind. And if you find value in uncovering health truths like this, please take a moment to hit that like button. It really helps others find this information. And of course, subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss insights that could genuinely impact your well-being. Ready to uncover the first secret? Let's begin. All right, lesson number 1. It sounds simple, maybe even a bit quaint. Never stop being curious. We often associate curiosity with childhood, that wide-eyed wonder. But what happens when that fades? We fall into routines, think we've seen it all, and maybe even feel done learning. Here's the hidden danger. Letting curiosity wither isn't just boring. It's actively detrimental to your brain health. It's like letting a muscle atrophy from disuse. Think about it. Your brain thrives on novelty, on challenges, on making new connections. This isn't just poetry, it's neuroscience. It's called neuroplasticity, the brain's incredible ability to rewire itself throughout life if you give it reason to. When curiosity dies, when you stop seeking out new information, learning new skills, or exploring different perspectives, you essentially tell your brain, okay, coasting time. And coasting, my friends, often means slowly rolling downhill. What does this mental stagnation feel like? It might start subtly. Maybe you feel less sharp, more forgetful. Perhaps you find yourself uninterested in topics that used to excite you. New technology feels overwhelming, not intriguing. You might dismiss it as just getting older, but could it be something more insidious? Could it be the early warning signs of a brain not getting the stimulation it desperately needs to stay resilient against age-related cognitive decline, or even conditions like dementia? We hear stories about people like Benjamin Franklin, still experimenting in his 70s, or Nola Oakes, graduating college at 95. It's tempting to see them as extraordinary exceptions. But why were they exceptional? It wasn't just raw intellect. It was their relentless refusal to stop engaging their minds. They actively fought against mental complacency. They understood, perhaps intuitively, that learning wasn't just a hobby. It was brain maintenance. It floods the brain with dopamine, the reward chemical, reinforcing the desire to learn more. It builds cognitive reserve, like a backup generator for your mind when challenges arise. Now, I'm not saying you need to go get a PhD at 90. That's missing the point. Lifelong learning isn't about degrees. It's about an attitude. It's choosing to ask why. It's picking up a book on a subject you know nothing about. It's asking your grandchild to explain that new app, not brushing it off. It's watching a documentary that challenges your views. It's trying a new recipe, learning a few phrases in another language, even just taking a different route home to notice new things. Each tiny act of curiosity sends a signal to your brain. Stay active. Stay adaptable. It builds resilience. Instead of seeing aging as an inevitable decline, curiosity reframes it as a continuous journey of discovery. It keeps your mind flexible, your spirit engaged, and frankly, makes life far more interesting. So ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you learned something truly new? When did you step outside your mental comfort zone? If it's been a while, consider this your call to action. Make a small commitment today to spark that curiosity. What's one small thing you can learn or explore this week? Don't let your amazing brain go quiet. Keep it buzzing. It's one of the most powerful things you can do for vibrant longevity. Let me know in the comments. What's one area you're curious about? Sharing it might even inspire someone else. Okay, are you still with me? If this first point resonated, type a 1 in the comments. Thank you. Let's move on to the second piece of wisdom, which is just as crucial for avoiding that post-80 slump. Lesson number 2, move with purpose. Now, this sounds obvious, right? Exercise is good for you. We all know that. But here's where the understanding often falls short. Especially as we age, we start thinking we need more rest. That taking it easy is the key. And while rest is important, excessive inactivity is like sinking into quicksand for your health. It's not just about weight, it's about fundamentally undermining your body's ability to function. The hidden danger here is how quickly the body deteriorates without regular movement. Muscles begin to waste away, a process called sarcopenia, which is a major reason seniors lose strength and become frail. Your circulation slows down, meaning less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach your vital organs, including your brain. Bone density can decrease, increasing the risk of fractures from falls. Your metabolism gets sluggish, making weight management harder and increasing risks for conditions like type 2 diabetes. What are the symptoms of this sedentary trap? It's not always dramatic. It might be that persistent fatigue you can't shake, feeling stiff when you get up, losing your balance more easily, finding yourself breathless after climbing a single flight of stairs. Maybe you notice aches and pains that seem to have no cause. These aren't just signs of aging. They are often direct consequences of your body crying out for movement. It's a warning sign that you're becoming vulnerable, increasing your risk of falls, injuries, and losing that precious independence we all value. Remember the leg weakness we talked about regarding certain vitamins? Inactivity is perhaps an even bigger culprit. We don't need tales of marathon runners here. The science is clear. Even moderate, consistent activity makes a world of difference. Think about those communities in the blue zones where people live exceptionally long, healthy lives. They don't necessarily run marathons or lift heavy weights in gyms, but movement is woven into their daily lives. Walking, gardening, doing chores manually, it's consistent, purposeful motion. The key is purposeful movement. It doesn't have to be grueling. A brisk 30-minute walk most days can work wonders for your heart, lungs, and mood. Gentle stretching or Tai Chi improves balance and flexibility, directly combating that fall risk. Simple strength exercises, even using your own body weight or light resistance bands, help fight sarcopenia and keep those muscles strong enough to get you out of a chair easily, carry groceries, and navigate stairs. What I find truly encouraging is that it's never too late to start reaping benefits. Studies show that even seniors who begin exercising later in life see significant improvements in strength, balance, and overall health markers. Your body wants to move. It's designed for it. So the call to action here is to honestly assess your daily movement. Are you intentionally incorporating activity, or are you letting the sedentary quicksand pull you down? Find something you enjoy. Walking with a friend, dancing in your living room, joining a water aerobics class, gardening. The best exercise is the one you'll actually do. Make it a non-negotiable part of your day, like brushing your teeth. Protect your mobility, protect your independence. Share your commitment in the comments. What's one small step you can take towards more movement this week? Maybe swap 20 minutes of screen time for a walk. Let's inspire each other. Now let's connect this physical vitality to another pillar of longevity, something often dangerously overlooked. Lesson number 3, strengthen your social connections. We live in a world that sometimes feels increasingly disconnected despite technology. And as people age, social circles can naturally shrink due to retirement, relocation, or loss. It might seem normal, even expected, to become more solitary. But here lies a profound and often underestimated danger. Loneliness is toxic. It's not just a sad feeling, it's a serious public health risk with devastating physiological consequences. How dangerous? Studies have shockingly compared the health impact of chronic loneliness to smoking 15 cigarettes a day or being obese. Let that sink in. The lack of meaningful connection can literally shorten your lifespan. Why? Because as humans, we are fundamentally wired for connection. It's baked into our evolutionary history for survival. When we feel isolated, our bodies perceive it as a threat. The stress response system kicks into overdrive, flooding us with cortisol. Chronic stress, as we know, contributes to inflammation, weakens the immune system, raises blood pressure, increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, depression, anxiety, and even accelerates cognitive decline. Isolation doesn't just hurt your heart emotionally, it hurts your physical heart and your brain too. What does this feel like? Beyond the obvious sadness or emptiness, chronic loneliness can manifest physically. You might feel constantly drained, have trouble sleeping, get sick more often, or find it harder to recover from illness or injury. It can create a vicious cycle where poor health leads to more isolation, and isolation worsens health. It's a trap many fall into without realizing the root cause. Contrast this with the power of strong social ties. Think about those Okinawan moai, lifelong support groups. These aren't just casual friendships. They are built-in systems for emotional, financial, and practical support. They provide a buffer against stress, a source of shared joy, and a powerful sense of belonging. Studies like the long-running Harvard study of adult development consistently show that the quality of relationships is one of the strongest predictors of health and happiness in later life, more so than cholesterol levels or income. This isn't about being a social butterfly or having hundreds of superficial contacts. It's about nurturing meaningful connections, people you can count on, laugh with, be vulnerable with. Quality over quantity. So, how do you actively combat isolation and strengthen your lifeline? It requires intentionality. Don't wait for others to reach out. Take the initiative. Call a friend you haven't spoken to. Invite a neighbor for coffee. Join a club, a volunteer group, or a class that interests you. It's a great way to meet people with shared passions. Look for opportunities for intergenerational connection. Mentoring younger people or learning from them can be incredibly rewarding. Be open, be vulnerable, appropriately of course. Real connection happens when we share more than just surface-level updates. And practice reciprocity. Be the friend you wish to have. Show up for others, celebrate their wins. Listen during tough times. Use technology wisely to bridge distances, but don't let it replace face-to-face interaction entirely when possible. Ask yourself, is my social garden tended? Are my connections meaningful? If not, what's one step I can take this week to nurture those relationships or plant new seeds? Don't underestimate this. Your social connections are as vital to your health as diet and exercise. Invest in them. Let us know one way you plan to strengthen your connections. Sharing your intention makes it more real. If this point about connection struck a chord, type a 2 in the comments. Thank you for engaging. Now let's talk about the fuel that powers everything we've discussed so far. Our fourth piece of wisdom. Eat like your future depends on it. Because quite frankly, it does. Food isn't just fuel to get through the day. It's the literal building blocks for every cell in your body. What you put on your plate can either be your most powerful medicine or a slow-acting poison. It sounds dramatic, but the science backs it up. The danger we face today is the overwhelming prevalence of ultra-processed foods, packed with sugar, unhealthy fats, sodium, and artificial ingredients. These foods actively promote chronic inflammation throughout the body, which is now understood to be a root cause of many age-related diseases. Heart disease, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, certain cancers, and even Alzheimer's disease. They disrupt your gut microbiome, spike your blood sugar, and deplete your energy. Eating this way is like constantly throwing gasoline on the fire of aging. What are the symptoms of a diet working against you? Persistent fatigue or energy crashes, brain fog, digestive problems, bloating, constipation, etc., joint pain, skin issues, difficulty managing weight, frequent colds or infections. You might feel sluggish, heavy, and just generally unwell, blaming it on age when your plate could be the primary culprit. Now, compare that to the diets in longevity hotspots like the Mediterranean or Okinawa. What do they have in common? They are centered around real, whole foods, abundant, colorful fruits and vegetables, legumes, beans, lentils, whole grains, nuts, seeds, healthy fats like olive oil, and lean proteins, particularly fish. They aren't about deprivation, they are about nourishment. These foods provide the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, fiber, and phytonutrients your body needs to fight inflammation, repair damage, protect your brain, support a healthy gut, and maintain energy. Think of antioxidants in berries and leafy greens, neutralizing those damaging free radicals. Omega-3 fats in fish and walnuts, supporting brain health. Fiber from beans and oats feeding beneficial gut bacteria, which impacts everything from immunity to mood. Protein helping maintain that crucial muscle mass we discussed. It's a symphony of nutrients working together. Remember the Okinawan concept of hara hachibu, eating until you're 80% full? It's about mindful moderation, enjoying food without oversee consuming. It's also about the quality of what fills that 80%. Their traditional diet is rich in vegetables, sweet potatoes, tofu, and small amounts of fish, incredibly nutrient-dense. Applying this doesn't mean a radical, joyless overhaul overnight. Start small. Aim to eat the rainbow. Get a variety of colorful plant foods on your plate each day. Swap processed snacks for fruit or nuts. Cook one more meal at home each week, using whole ingredients. Read labels and become aware of hidden sugars and unhealthy fats. Focus on adding more of the good stuff, rather than just restricting the bad. Use herbs and spices generously. They're packed with anti-inflammatory compounds. Stay hydrated with water. Every meal is a choice. Are you choosing to fuel vitality or feed disease? Make conscious choices that nourish your body from the inside out. Think of it as investing in your future health with every bite. What's one simple, healthy food swap you can commit to this week? Share it below. Let's make healthy eating less daunting and more achievable together. Now for our final and perhaps most profound piece of wisdom. Lesson number 5. Discover your why. Purpose. It sounds abstract, maybe even a luxury, but the lack of it is a hidden danger that can hollow out even the longest life. Living to 90 or 100 means little if the days feel empty, directionless, and devoid of meaning. Purpose is the engine that drives us, the reason we get out of bed, the feeling that our life matters. The risk of living without purpose, especially after major life transitions like retirement or children leaving home, is profound. It can lead to apathy, depression, social withdrawal, and a faster decline in both physical and cognitive health. Research consistently shows that people with a strong sense of purpose live longer, have lower rates of heart disease and Alzheimer's, and are more resilient in the face of adversity. How does purpose protect us? It gives life structure and meaning, reducing stress and anxiety. It motivates us to take better care of ourselves. If you have a reason to stay healthy, you're more likely to eat well, exercise, and stay connected. It keeps the brain engaged and challenged. Having a why literally changes your physiology, likely impacting hormones and inflammation levels positively. What does a lack of purpose feel like? It can be a nagging sense of boredom, feeling adrift, believing you're no longer useful or needed. It can manifest as chronic low energy, lack of motivation, and a general disengagement from life. You might find yourself just going through the motions, watching the days pass without real investment. This isn't just sad, it's detrimental to your well-being. Think of Fauja Singh, running marathons at 100 after personal loss, driven by a purpose to inspire others. Or Grandma Moses, finding artistic purpose late in life. Or the Japanese concept of ikigai. That intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for, or simply find deep meaning in. In Okinawa, ikigai isn't some grand quest. It's often found in simple daily acts: tending a garden, teaching a craft, caring for grandchildren, contributing to the community. Your purpose doesn't have to be world-changing. It needs to be meaningful to you. It evolves throughout life. Finding it involves self-reflection. Ask yourself, what brings me joy? What activities make me lose track of time? What skills or wisdom do I have to share? What breaks my heart or makes me want to help? How can I contribute, even in small ways? Purpose can be found in relationships, being a supportive grandparent, friend, partner, creativity, painting, writing, music, crafts, service, volunteering, mentoring, learning, continuing that curiosity journey, spirituality, or simply being a source of kindness and connection in your community. Even caring for a pet or tending a small garden can provide a powerful sense of purpose. The key is to find something outside of yourself that gives your life meaning and direction. It's the antidote to aimlessness. It fuels resilience. When you know why you're living, you can endure almost anyhow. So, take some time this week for quiet reflection. What gives your life meaning right now? What sparks that feeling of purpose, however small? Nurture it. If you feel adrift, start exploring. Try volunteering. Reconnect with an old passion. Learn something new. The search itself can be purposeful. What gives your life purpose? Even if it's something simple, share it in the comments. Your why might resonate deeply with someone else seeking theirs. So there you have it. 5 powerful, interconnected pieces of wisdom that challenge the notion that decline after 80 is inevitable. 1. Stay curious. Actively fight mental stagnation to protect your brain. 2. Move with purpose. Escape the sedentary quicksand to maintain strength and independence. 3. Strengthen connections. Build your social lifeline to combat the toxic effects of isolation. 4. Eat for longevity. Fuel your body with nourishment, not foods that feed disease. 5. Discover your why. Find purpose to give your life meaning, direction, and resilience. Notice how these aren't isolated tips. They weave together. Curiosity might lead you to a new class, where you move your body and meet new people. Eating well gives you the energy to pursue your purpose and stay active. Strong connections support you through challenges. It's a holistic approach. Avoiding that sharp decline isn't about finding some magic pill. It's about conscious choices, day after day. It's about taking ownership of your health span, not just your lifespan. It's about living vibrantly, not just existing. Which of these 5 secrets resonated most deeply with you today? What's one small change you feel inspired to make? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I truly value hearing from you, and your insights help build this community. If you found this discussion helpful, please give the video a like, share it with someone who might benefit, and ensure you're subscribed with notifications on for more insights into living your healthiest, most vital life. Thank you so much for investing your time with me today. Remember, you have more power over your aging journey than you might think. Take care, stay vibrant, and I'll see you in the next video.